Hello everybody, welcome back to Green Hell. This is ROGG, and today I'm going to do things a little differently. In this episode I'm going to show off a little bit of the crafting system, maybe work on our base for shits and giggles, and upgrade our gear, all at the same time. So here I decide to make a bunch of campfires. Making the campfires because I'm going to need a lot of coal and campfire ashes for the future. You'll see why later. Here I go deciding to cover our fires so that they can properly burn out instead of the rain. Also in this episode, my computer is going to start showing its age. But thanks to COVID, I can't really go off and get a better one, so we're just going to have to deal with it for now. Sorry about that. We decided to build these with bamboo because there's a bamboo forest located right next to our base, so that helps things out. What better than one roof than two, back to back, so that I can make more campfires. With that done, I'll make a couple more campfires to really get us a good amount of coal. We're going to need a good amount of coal to get us started on our metal smelting project that we're going to be undergoing here. And there's a turtle. Hello, turtle. Okay, we have 4 fires going. We might make some more, depending on what we feel like doing. Moving on. Here's that turtle again. I could just walk up to it and kill it, but I'm not going to do that because this is going to be our pet turtle. He's the camp mascot, and I'm going to name him Turbo. Turbo the turtle. Here I decide to go hunting for some food, and that is the sound of a caiman. It's a hulking brute of a dinosaur, and I'm going to kill it, hopefully. There it is. Luckily I shoot it right through its eye. Usually it takes a couple body shots. These things are surprisingly easy to kill, but they can and will one-shot you if you are caught unawares.
Okay, Mia. I have something to tell you, but don't freak out, okay?
Why would I freak out?
I might have come across the caiman.
What? Jake, estás bien? ¿Te he hecho daño?
I told you not to freak out. I'm talking to you, right? It means that I'm fine.
And what about the caiman?
I killed it.
How am I supposed to stay calm when you are charging at caimans?
But I killed it.
Sure, but it could have just as easily killed you.
That's true, but I killed the caiman by myself.
You're not letting this go, huh? Congratulations. You are the king of the jungle.
This is exactly what I wanted to hear. Over and out.
Okay, a couple of our campfires have burnt out, leaving ash and coals, which is what we wanted. And since I have plenty of coals and ashes to start off our furnace business, decided to make a mud gathering place. This will allow us to pick up mud from the lake and put it there. It's a mud mixer. Mud is simple to find. Just go to a lake and just go to the edge of the lake and take mud from it. There we go. It doesn't even have to look like there's mud there. You can just go to the edge of the lake. Usually it'll prompt you to ask if you want to take mud. There we have our mud. Put our campfire ash down. And now we need to fill it with water. We can make a water holding vessel by taking this coconut here and placing it with a rope. And that will make it bidon. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but that's how I'm going to say it, bidon. There. Now with that, we can go fill it up with the water in the lake and then just dump it into the mud mixer. You're going to dump it in there about 3 or 4 times. And that'll be enough. Now that we have enough, let's watch Jake molest this mud mixer awkwardly. And now we have mud bricks, which is what we are going to need to make our furnace, or charcoal burner. So here I put down the mud forge, and now I'm going to put down the plans for the charcoal burner. I'm going to make the charcoal burner first, because this way we won't have to keep making campfires to make all our charcoal. We can just put a shitload of wood in this charcoal burner, and then that will meet our charcoal needs for the rest of our time here. With the burner made, all we have to do is put a shitload of wood in here. So, here we go. Now that we have all the wood, we just gotta cover it up. Wood charcoal is made by adding heat and depriving the fuel of oxygen, and that creates a carbon mixture of proportions. There we go. And now we just wait. While we're waiting on that, we'll work on the mud furnace. Just a bunch of rings of mud going all the way up to form a tower. And we're going to need more mud, so let's go and make that. As I was getting water for the mixer, I found this prawn trap. Isn't that nice? Prawns aren't a really good source of protein, but I guess if you put a bunch of them down, then I suppose it'd be worth it. Anyways, continuing on with the tower of mud. There we go. if that rat would shut up, you can just fill this furnace with charcoal. That's what it's for. Takes a pretty good amount to, fill it up. I'm pretty sure there's a faster way to do this, but I have no idea what it is, so that's how I'm doing it. Once we light this furnace, we can put our thing that we want smelted in the hole on the bottom. Furnace is lit, as you can see. Now we just gonna put a hunk of metal down there. See what pops out. It takes quite a while, so I go and work on my macros and stuff like that. Make sure I'm fed. Here's a way that you can cook stuff. I put this coconut shell down next to the fire and put water in it. Now the water's boiling, and then once it's boiled we can put some mushrooms in there and make a mushroom stew. These mushrooms kind of suck for mushroom stew because you get more carbs just eating them raw than cooked, so there's not much of a point in doing it this way. I suppose it gives you sanity, but other than that, it's... at a certain point I just say screw it and just eat them raw. Like some sort of beast man. Alright, after waiting, we got some melted iron. Hooray. No, those are not it. Yes, these are the melted iron ores. And that's what we're going to need for our armor and weapons.
Hey, Mia. About this village I found?
Yes? What about it?
It's abandoned, but I found a few burned items that couldn't have belonged to the tribe. These came from outside the jungle, it looks like. Are you certain we haven't been here before?
The tribe fears our world, but they would never burn our things. They know we are not the enemy.
You don't think that there's someone else here, do you?
I don't know, but I don't like any of this. Just be careful if you see anyone.
So I decided to make another furnace, and this is what happens. I am assaulted by a member of the spooky scary clan. Now watch me as we do intense battle. My opponent is Boyo the Clown. And he was a savage contender.
Mia, I met a tribal warrior.
Your voice sounds strange. What happened?
He attacked me.
Oh my god, are you okay?
I killed him, Mia. I had to. I've never... Mia.
Cariño, breathe. You can't let it get to you. I'm glad you're still alive and talking to me.
You're right. But I'm afraid it might happen again. What if there's more of them?
Just keep thinking about me. You have to survive for me.
Yeah. I would go through more dialogue options for Mia, but they tend to be pretty spoilery, some of them anyway, so I'll just go through them, you know. I'll go through them as there is a lull in the gameplay, or my talking. Here I found this cave, hoping to get some iron ore, and I stepped on a scorpion. That little bastard. Luckily I had a tobacco bandage on hand. Let's get these. Yes. Oof. And hopefully the venom won't fuck us up too badly. I let the scorpion live because he was a warrior, and I respect him. Sadly, there wasn't really any... There's plenty of veins, but there wasn't really any actual iron in this cave, which was kind of a letdown, but... oh well. That's just how it be. And the exit takes us out to another side of the jungle. Not much here. I was expecting tribespeople to be in here or something, but no, there's no signs of them, so... screw it. You can see we have the second furnace, and here I'm making an armor casting mold. This is so we can make armor plates, basically. We make that and then we put it in the furnace, and we wait, and we wait, and I make another one just because I don't want to wait for one at a time. While doing some basic house cleaning and getting food and stuff, our mold is finished. And all we have to do is open our inventory and harvest it, and we get our metal plates. Our metal armor casting. Excellent. With these we can make some armor, so let's go ahead and do that. All we have to do is, yeah, you can see what I'm doing here. We need 3 metal castings for 1 piece of armor. So you can see how this could be kind of time consuming to deck yourself out in metal armor, but it is the highest tier of armor in this game. So we're going to drop our scrubby stick armor and upgrade ourselves to increase our item level in this game, so that we can be invited to raids. After waiting for more metal to smelt, I decided to make this drying rack for meat. And for meat to put it in, I kill this innocent capybara. The jungle is a very savage place, and it will turn men into monsters. Just like Jake here. We get plenty of bones and meat from that guy, so we need these bones to make bone spikes, or bone needles rather, and we just harvest bones to get them. And there we have a meat drying rack, so let's go and do that. Of course, as you can imagine, it takes quite a bit of time to have those pieces of meat finished, so in the meantime I decided to make a better fire making kit. I'm going to make a bow drill set by getting a plank, a bow, and a stone. If my bow decides to stay on the crafting bench, there you go, crafting rock rather. It'll help us a little bit in conserving stamina, making the fire. But mainly it's just, it lasts longer. It lasts for more uses than the shitty stick and twig fire making set. Hell yeah. So now that we've got that in order, I decided to make a metal spear. So I'm going to make a blade mold. And with that blade mold, I will make a metal blade. And I mix that with a long stick, and that makes a metal spear. But first, I have to wait. Meat's looking nice. After anticipating the blade mold, I finally get it, and I harvest it, and then I head off into the jungle to look for a long stick. Let's throw this old piece of shit away. And now we have a metal spear. With this and the armor, I think we are ready to rumble in this jungle. Before I end things off, I'm going to show off a snare trap at least. The bow trap is mainly for defending yourself against tribesmen. It doesn't really do much to animals or anything. The rock trap is for little critters like rats and stuff like that, mice and whatnot, which we don't want. We want some meat. We want some bigger meat. So a snare trap is what we need. First, we gotta find an area where, there's usually animals around. And I decide on this spot right here. There we go. It looks a little lopsided, but I think it'll still work. And thankfully there's plenty of trees, big and small, around us, so it doesn't take too long to make. And there we go, a snare trap. Now you can bait this trap, but from what I've read online, the consensus is really you don't need to. It'll catch animals whether you bait it or not. But just for shits and giggles, I'm going to put a hazelnut in there. So that the animal can get their last nut before they die. Sorry for that shitty joke, but anyways, I let Jake take a little nap, and then we went ahead and checked on the snare trap to see if it caught anything. Weirdest thing happened. From here it looks like nothing happened, the trap's still set. But when I turn around, somehow a armadillo magically appears in this trap. I have no idea how that happened. I guess it just took a little bit for it to spawn in or something. Anyways, we're going to cut this thing to pieces because we're savages. Here we go. There you go, little guy. Don't mind us, we're just slicing you up and down. And there we have a dead armadillo. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. Now armadillos, they have a chance to drop their I guess, hide, their shell, their carapace, I guess. And we can use that to make a piece of armor. That's better than stick armor. And since we have just stick armor on our legs, I decided to just go ahead and make a armadillo shell armor on one of our legs. Because why not? There we go. just like all armors, you mix it with 2 ropes and a leaf. And I guess we'll put it on Jake's left leg, since his left leg tends to take a lot of damage. And there we go. I go next to the campfire to show off the armadillo armor a little bit better. Not too shabby, not too shabby. And with that, I guess that'll end this episode. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Green Hell. And next time, we'll head on east. As you remember from that drawing, there seems to be a plane eastwards or something. So, until then, keep surviving.